Okay, good morning, everyone. It is my biggest pleasure and delight to be standing over here along with my teammates in one of the biggest educational institutions in our region. We are all here for one reason, and that reason is to know, to understand, and to be educated about several contemporary issues in our societies. And believe it or not, this is a privilege that we sometimes take for granted, as millions of children from all around the world struggles to access education or are totally deprived from accessing it. And Yemen, like many other countries in our region, is one of them. In the upcoming few minutes, you will be introduced to the team members of BINA. Then you will be given a short preview about Yemen and the war in Yemen. Then we're going to talk about current aid in Yemen and some educational problems. Then we're going to give you an introduction to our project, our initiative, BINA. So this is us. I am Tasbeeh Rabasi. This is Sharaf Khazan, Hussein Safwat, and Jessica Alsusi. Unfortunately, Ghamdhan couldn't join us today. We are all from Yemen except for Jessica. She is from our beloved Palestine. She's also Jordanian. And this is Yemen on the map. Yemen is located in southwestern Asia, and it is the home for over 30 million citizens. Yemen was once called Happy Arabia or Happy Yemen in Arabic Al-Yemen al-Sa'id in reference to its greenery and its fertility. Yemen is also one of the oldest civilizations and the home for like the Sabaean Kingdom and Sana'a al-Qadima. In the year of 2010, a crisis hit Yemen with the conflict of several political parties. The uprise of this crisis caused the war of 2015, which is still going on up until today. This war caused the displacements of millions of Yemenis and hit the Yemeni economy at its lowest.
Yemen, a land of ancient beauty, where history whispers to every stone. But beneath this facade lies a harsh reality. War. War has torn this once thriving land, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Homes, schools, and lives shattered by violence and conflict.
كنت أدرس من صف أول لصف خامس بطلته لأنه جاء الحرب وظروف صعبة اضطريت إن أنا أبطل الدراسة وأشتغل على البيت.
The school year has begun in Yemen, and with many schools destroyed in the war, the ruins that are left is the only option. Al-Wadha School in Taz had its doors already open and its windows missing. No desks, no chairs, and the walls made the war. That was how these students attended their first day of school, as the walls around them lie crumble and the ceilings non-existent. Only brave teachers joined them. These children are the lucky ones who get to have some education after at least 4 years of war. But Yemen still prevails.
So as a result of the war, these are the current NGOs that are involved in Yemen. So they have publicly stated that their mission is to deliver humanitarian aid, including food, water, and medical assistance, and addressing the malnutrition and the lack of education. The common goal between all of these NGOs is that they're aiming to find a way to educate children in Yemen. However, UNICEF has reported a funding gap of 393.8 million as of 2022. Save the Children has reported that they have helped 5 million children since 2013, but they have not directly stated how much funding they have received. And GPE has already received almost 178 million in total funding, but with no stats about how many children they reached in Yemen. So According to the Arab Center in Washington, D.C., a growing number of Yemen experts have for some time been sounding the alarm about the failures of the international humanitarian response in the country. As a result of these failures and lack of transparency from the current NGOs, the humanitarian aid has slashed by over 60% from almost 3.6 billion in 2022 in 2019 to 1.9 billion this year. So these are the current stats of the countries who have pulled out most of their funding due to not seeing any progress or not seeing any transparency from these NGOs. For example, Kuwait decreased their funding by almost 99%, UAE by 98%, Saudi Arabia by 89%, and so on. So only 7.5% of funding for child protection is currently secured, and only 9.6% of funding for education is secured. So children's sectors are the lowest funded in 2023, according to Save the Children. And 1.8 million people are in need of urgent life-saving assistance. And this is not assistance to improve quality of life, not for education. This is life-saving. So it could be the difference between life and death for people. So over 200 partners are appealing for joint humanitarian support as a result of these failures.
Thank you, Jessica. As a reaction to what the Yemeni people see of the effect or zero effect or little effect of the funds, a social media uproar has happened. A hashtag that emerged, Wain al-Flus, or where's the money? These effects affected the Yemenis of their education or any infrastructure that has happened. As effect of that, our four funders of BINA, or our homegrown model, a homegrown model platform that aims to raise the funds to support the rebuilding of educational infrastructure, Yemen for the local support and empowerment. Our mission is to empower Yemen and local engagement and capacity building to ensure transparent and innovative humanitarian aid that addresses the real needs of our communities. As for our vision, a self-sustaining Yemen where local talents and community-driven solutions pave the way for lasting peace and prosperity. BINA team. From Yemen, we have four funders, which is Sharaf and Ghassan, who came from the north, from Hajjah and Sana'a. As from South Yemen, Tasbeeh and I, who came from Aden and Hadramaut. With this and Jessica from Palestine, we believe that we know the real needs of our Yemeni people. Now, I will leave the floor for Sharaf to explain our platform, the homegrown model.
Thank you very much, Hussein. So moving into our model and how we're trying to tackle this issue, I have this small a video that shows how our platform would look like. So you can see that our project is Bina, which he explained previously with its mission and vision. Moving from there, you can see it's very similar to GoFundMe, which I believe most of you are familiar with. So you can see that there are specific schools that need your help and how you can provide your donation in each project. There is always a backstory of what happened to the school and what is exactly the effect that needs to be repaired. So you can easily donate, or you can also share it with your friends in order to collect more funds. Moving from there, you can see that we are focusing also on the transparency of how these funds are allocated. And after going out and see that one fund has already been done and collected, you can see how the school transformed from a school, for example, with no desks and how it was before into how it is right now. And not only this, the description that used to explain how that was damaged, it will show how this fund was located in terms of percentage for each of the needed resources in order to rebuild this. Also, you can always contact who is responsible of this project and get to know real-time data of what's happening within that. Moving into that, you know that BINA values are mainly focused on the Yemeni community. By this, we're speaking about prioritizing the community and the decision-making and get to know what exactly they need. Moving from there, we can look into the transparency and accountability. Everything is there. Everyone has access to this information. Nothing is classified. Moving from there, you can see that we're working on the capacity building. As we know that our community, the Yemeni professionals, are who are going to rebuild Yemen and keep up with these innovative solutions. And you can see that we're trying to implement innovative and adaptation strategies to not only tackle education infrastructure and keep it as sustainable as possible, tackling different sectors. So after going with all of this, you can ask me how the fund will be processed. The fund will be, of course, by proposal, reviewing them, and then launching them into the website. On the other side, after the fund is collected, we're going to disperse it depending on the milestone. And finally, after the completion of the fund, you can see it raised into our platform. Finally, what makes us different from any other NGO and how it would help Yemen in terms of collection of funds is that we are full transparent, efficient use of resources, familiar with the Yemeni needs, and finally developing everlasting solutions for Yemen in the future. So now, if you would like to join our team, please scan this QR code and fill in your information, as we're willing to reach out to as many possible talent to help us within this project. And thank you very much for your time.